Welcome back to Weather Nation. We're taking you to Colorado Springs, and they were picking up on some hail yesterday as some powerful thunderstorms rolled across the region. And if you live anywhere near and around Colorado Springs, you know this summer it's been very active in terms of severe weather. You've seen a lot of large hail, you've seen damage once again across your region. And unfortunately, we're talking about more storms being out there for today. But thanks again for tuning in. As we take a look at the outlook for today, we now have a slight risk for severe weather across southeastern parts of Colorado into northeastern parts of New Mexico, northern Texas, western Oklahoma, and even across western parts of Kansas. And outside of that, we're still dealing with a marginal risk that stretches from parts of western South Dakota all the way into northern Texas. And then now we have a marginal risk in place across parts of the Carolinas. So Charlotte, be on the lookout for that today. Raleigh, be on the lookout for some stronger storms as we head throughout the later afternoon. Now, when we take a closer look, cities like Chadron and North Platte, Denver, Lamar, Colorado Springs, Dodge City, all of you all will be involved with that threat for severe weather. And the biggest concern today will be hail. So again, we've seen a lot of hail events across the Front Range already this year. We saw that devastating hail event in Cheyenne a little more than a week or so ago. And we're talking about more hail concerns for today with the focus across southern Colorado into northern parts of Texas and New Mexico. And as we slide toward the east, we're noticing this marginal risk for severe weather covering cities like Virginia Beach and Raleigh and Fayetteville and even Charlotte down toward Columbia, South Carolina. In these areas, we're talking about more of a wind threat. So we're talking about damaging wind being the threat with any severe storms that develop. And as we take a wider view, again, we have this energy moving across the Rockies, bringing the storm chances across the Front Range today. At the same time, we'll have this really stationary front and trough of low pressure near the Carolinas as we head throughout the night tonight into tomorrow morning, and that'll keep some of the wet weather around for you all. And as we continue to track the forecast, we're noticing this activity moving across the middle of the country and storm chances shifting toward the eastern parts of Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, into parts of Arkansas and Missouri, and we'll continue to track this severe weather potential moving east. And while we don't have any necessarily major slight risks or anything higher than that out there, we are talking about a marginal risk for severe weather across parts of the Midwest as this storm system continues to move east on Monday. So as a lot of kids and parents are getting ready to head back to school, you want to keep an eye on the storm threat that will be out there. And as we look toward Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening, this energy finally makes it toward the East Coast, and that means rain chances and potentially more storm chances for the north and east. Now, I mentioned that there was a chance for storms across parts of the south as we head throughout the day Sunday. This is the area that we're watching out for. Marginal risk covering much of Oklahoma into northern Texas, western Arkansas, and even into southern parts of Missouri and Kansas, and that's for Sunday. But as we look toward Monday, as we're starting that work week and as some kids are headed back to school, we're talking about some storm chances being out there. Cities like St. Louis and Memphis, Tennessee, and even Little Rock, Arkansas involved with that threat. Now let's take you out to British Columbia. This is video that we received on Friday, and it just shows you what's been going on there. They've been dealing with a lot of fires and a lot of thick smoke across that region. And unfortunately, we're still talking about fire concerns being out there. So if you are in British Columbia, if you have any family or friends out there, just know that unfortunately, we're still talking about air quality concerns, and we're still dealing with those fires, not only burning across Western Canada, but also across western parts of the United States. Now, when we take a look at the latest fire stats, we're looking at the Mendocino Complex fire at now more than 379,000 acres, only 76% contained, and we're looking at the Carr fire as well. That one is close to 77% contained, but the size of it is now more than 223,000 acres. When we look at the Ferguson fire, that one is getting close to 97,000 acres and it's 87% contained. And unfortunately, across these regions where these fires are burning in California, we don't expect a lot of rain. And when we track the smoke with this, we've seen smoke stretch again from parts of the western parts of the United States, western parts of Canada, all the way toward the north and east. And if you've been noticing hazy sunrises and sunsets, that's part of the reason. Now, when we take a look at the air quality concerns, they're out there across Minnesota today, they're out there across the Central Valley of California, and then they're out there across the Northwest as well. These alerts continuing at least through Tuesday. We'll be talking more about the fire concerns, but up next, we're talking about what's happening in the tropics. We have Hurricane Lane in the Eastern Pacific, a Category 4 storm.